Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Season 3 of the World with Nate podcast. I'm your host, Nate Allison. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Gravy's Diner, located on University Ave, right here in our hometown of Cedar Falls, Iowa. Let Kevin and Maddie Graves know that Nate sent you. Thank you, Kevin and Maddie, for everything you've done for me. I really appreciate you guys. Without further ado, my next guest is a small-town Iowa guy, Carson. I'm actually going to be related to the guy pretty soon, and I wanted to have him on and chat basketball. Welcome to the podcast, Carson.
Thank you, Nate. Happy to be here.
Appreciate that. So basketball has recently exploded in Iowa with the entrance of 𝙀𝙣𝙟𝙚 Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes in the national championship game. And you have been playing basketball since you were a kid. You went to Upper Iowa and played basketball there, and now you're involved in basketball in Cedar Rapids, and I want to talk about all that. But first, growing up in small-town Iowa, what was your experience like? You're from
New Hartford, Iowa.
New Hartford, okay.
Yes. So a very small town. Some people have heard of it, some others.
Right.
Some people haven't.
Some listeners may not have.
For sure, yeah. Small town, probably 15 minutes west of Cedar Falls.
Okay.
Wouldn't trade it for the world. Absolutely loved growing up there in that community with my family, my friends, all that good stuff. So,
what'd you do to stay busy as a kid?
Sports.
You were a basketballer, yeah.
I mean, coming from a smaller school, you're kind of inclined to be involved more just with activities, sports, non-sports, all that good stuff. So, I mean, my friends and I, we stayed busy with basketball, baseball, football, track, pretty much
everything,
all of it. So,
yeah.
But again, like I wouldn't trade that for the world at all.
That's awesome.
So.
Hell yeah. So this small town community, when you say small, how many is in like your graduating class?
Graduating class was around 65.
Okay. Did you guys have trouble putting together teams at that small, or no? You had enough involvement?
Yeah, we definitely had enough involvement, so we didn't ever really struggle with that. I'm sure some classes, depending on size, definitely do struggle with that. But the class I was involved with, I mean, a lot of people were just
very active.
So yeah,
just
which made
like
it
you.
awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Small town Iowa growing up, it's benefited both of us, and staying busy in small towns is important to stay out of trouble.
Absolutely.
When were you first introduced to the game of basketball?
I mean, very young. My dad was the athletic director at the middle school in New Hartford, and I mean, we lived walking distance to the school. So he was always up there doing whatever he needed to do with all the different sports going on, and I just kind of followed him around, and fell in love with the gym, with basketball. Along. So, yeah, I mean, I went to plenty of practices and all that good stuff growing up. Honestly, probably from like first grade until
always
I was
involved
in middle school. So, just watching, learning, having fun. The coaches then were cool of letting me just kind of hang around.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, that's my memory of kind of being introduced to basketball, and then even all the other sports. So
now we're sticking with basketball because that's a sport you decided to pursue.
Yep.
You played throughout high school. What'd your high school experience look like? You were starter. What position you play?
High school was actually kind of interesting. I was fortunate enough to play varsity 4 years.
Damn. Which is a big achievement.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is.
Humble guy. I love it.
Freshman year, I broke my left arm, I think maybe midway through the season. So that season was kind of cut short. I was fortunate enough to come back towards the end when we were in the playoffs and stuff like that.
Heck yeah.
So again, that was kind of like half a season. Sophomore season, got to play a full season. Didn't have as good a season as we had hoped, but still good stuff. And then junior year, only played the last 8 games of the year.
And what was the reasoning behind that?
Had an injury from football.
Dang.
That kept me out. I got to play the last 8 games of the year. Luckily, we made it to state. So got to play down at state there. And then senior year, got another full season in. Again, kind of cut short of what we had hoped for, but very good. I was happy with the career, happy with the people I played with, just playing with my best friends. We had a lot of fun. So a lot of memories made, but it was sure kind of an interesting 4 years just because of injuries and stuff like that. So, but it was good.
When you were playing basketball at this time, what was your long-term goals within basketball?
Yeah, probably sophomore, junior year, I think I kind of had the mindset that I wanted to play in college.
Okay.
Didn't know how that was going to look, where that was going to be. But I was just hopeful to, keep pursuing basketball after high school because that was definitely my passion.
You said you broke your arm. Now, I got to ask, was it your dominant hand or non-dominant?
Both.
It's for real?
Both.
Okay. So what'd that look like?
Junior year football, I fractured my wrist, my dominant hand wrist.
So you're right-handed.
Right hand. And then kind of happened and I didn't even really know about it. And then we found out towards the end of the season. And by then just said, going to finish out the season because we had a very good season going.
So you elected to play.
Elected to play and then just dealt with what was to come after that. And then the last game of our football season was the semifinals in the Dome. I broke my left elbow.
Get out of town.
So it was an interesting, 2 months after that. I was in a cast in this arm, sling in the left arm.
Dang.
That was kind of a long recovery, but
I can imagine.
Taught me some good lessons, I guess.
Hell yeah.
In a sense.
You have to figure out how you're going to unzip your pants with no arms.
Everything had to be done differently, but it was, looking back on it, it was very good lessons learned. So, but I was fortunate enough to come back then and do play the last 8 games of the season.
Yeah.
So.
Very cool.
Yep.
Now, when did the college recruitment start? What did that look like? When were you like, all right, I got a chance to maybe take it to the next level?
Again, junior year is pretty important, I guess.
In the scheme of recruiting?
In the scheme of recruiting, at least
basketball-wise.
Yeah, so, I missed a lot of the junior season. I didn't really play AAU.
Okay.
So the recruitment, there really wasn't a ton there. I think I was just hoping to just keep working hard and that things will happen for a reason. Honestly, the coach I played for in college, his dad was a high school coach at 𝙀𝙣𝙟𝙟𝙚 Valley, who was in our conference, and he's been very good to our family, had a very good relationship with my dad. Obviously his coach, or his son was coaching college at the time. He said that things are going to work out, don't worry about it. Full circle, I play for his son in college. I know,
isn't that wild?
Yeah, so I'm very thankful for him, just that he was kind of looking out for me too. But my high school coach, he did what he could too with trying to get my information out there as well. But it was just tricky not playing my junior year and then not really playing AAU, so I really only had senior year to
focus on.
Kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
So, but it worked out.
Heck
it worked out. So
you decided that you were going to go. Upper Iowa, that's not like D3. You're not a slouch. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So the skills that are required to play at that level are higher than when you're playing to play. Were you nervous going into that arena with your limited playing time, or were you confident?
For sure, yeah. I remember going up to watch Upper Iowa play my senior year of high school. Okay. And they were playing a very good team in their conference. I just looked at my dad. I'm like, I don't know if I'm cut out for this because, the guys are huge. Yeah. They're fast. They're quick. They can jump out of the gym, skilled.
Very much so.
Yeah. I thought I was going to have – I obviously did have my work cut out for me, but I didn't know if this was going to work out or not. But,
yeah. How'd you get past that, those self-limiting beliefs? Because they can ruin you.
Yeah. It sounds cliche, but just going to the gym as much as I can. And putting up as many shots as I can and just really putting in work to kind of make myself believe in what I can do and what I can bring. So
it's not cliche. And it doesn't sound that way at all because there's people that are not willing to do that, to put in the extra work, to get in the gym every single day.
Yeah, and that's what I love to do. I love to just go up to the gym every day and shoot. I just found a lot of peace with that. So
hell yeah.
I think it paid off for the most part.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So your experience at Upper Iowa, what was that like? Fayette is a small town, similar kind of to what you're used to?
Yeah, for sure. That's kind of what drew me in. It was somewhat similar to my hometown. But I struggled that first year a lot.
How so?
Being away from home, being away from my friends, my family, and then just the college life kind of. I just wasn't ready to kind of be on my own like that and away from everyone that I grew up with and had very good relationships with and stuff like that. I even remember telling my mom I was going to come back to UNI after that first year, just because I was struggling, and it was tough. But got through that first year, got through the first season of basketball.
So in regards to where the season of basketball is to where school starts, what was that like? Did you have time where you had to do school first and then?
Like the first 2 weeks of school.
And then you're practicing right away
we're doing
with your
preseason
guys?
stuff like that. Which I liked the basketball side of things for the most part. I think, honestly, it was just being away from home.
Yeah, hell yeah. That stuff's hard the first time. And
then still just wondering, like, if I was good enough in a sense to be there. I still didn't know. So
yeah.
But my teammates were awesome. Some of the best relationships I have still to this day.
Which is so cool to hear.
And then the same with my coaches as well.
So you get there, a little baby freshman. How many other freshmen are there on the team?
I think we had a class of 5 of us.
Okay. So. And then how many are on the basketball squad together?
All 5 of us. Oh, total we had...
Like your team?
Yeah, probably 18.
Okay. And then those guys are always traveling. Where are you guys traveling from at Upper Iowa, and who's kind of in the conference? What's that look like?
A lot of schools up north. So Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota.
All right.
We're the only one in Iowa. There's one in Nebraska. But yeah, otherwise Minnesota, North and South Dakota.
What's travel look like? You guys fly, bus, car, get
we
there
do
however?
Not fly. We flew to California, luckily.
Right. Yeah.
But conference-wise, the longest trip was 13 hours.
Whew. In a bus?
In a bus. We're not flying. We were driving. So Minot, North Dakota, 13 hours.
I know exactly where it's at. Yeah, dude. Heck yeah. And it is. The weather there, it can get cold. I don't know when you went to basketball season, right? It was probably.
Yeah. No, yeah. It was below freezing for sure, or below zero. But those were actually kind of fun trips. We got the VIP bus, it's called.
Okay.
So everyone has their own bed, lots of TVs.
Oh, dang.
Pick up a PlayStation. So, I mean, it's still 13 hours in a bus, but it's
a little
doable.
Bit of bonding, I'm sure, and crap goes on the bus.
Honestly, it's usually one of the most fun trips of the year, just because you're bonding for that long. And
you have to.
Get to have some fun, so.
Heck yeah. Being from Dike, New Hartford, anybody else from small town Iowa in your team, or where are these guys from that are getting recruited?
Not from Dike, New Hartford. There was a Sumner Fred kid who he was older than me, but that's a conference school.
Yeah.
We had a lot of Iowa guys on the Upper Iowa team.
Okay.
Kind of just from all over, more big cities, Cedar Rapids, Des Moines, stuff like that. But there's still some small town kids too, which can relate to.
Heck yeah. So. Your degree plan, you got there as a freshman. Did you have a plan, or were you figure it out as you go?
Kind of. Both my parents were teachers. My sister's a teacher.
Okay.
I'd always liked thinking like a PE teacher, kind of.
Okay.
I enjoyed my PE teachers in school. So that was kind of the route that I ended up choosing.
Okay.
It was kind of in the back of my mind the whole time. So I ended up choosing that.
So an education major?
In education, so.
All right.
Yep.
And what was school like for you? Difficult, easy? What kind of student are you? Don't mean to put you on the spot.
No, that's okay.
C's get degrees too, man.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if you...
Not advocating for bad students.
If you talk to students that go to Upper Iowa, they'll kind of not make fun, but just poke at the fact that it's not too tough.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
So school-wise, honestly, I loved it a lot. They do it a little different. They do 8-week quarters.
Okay.
So you're in a class for only 8 weeks as opposed to 16 weeks.
Yeah.
And you take 3 classes for 2 of the terms and 2 classes for 2 of the terms.
So that's a little bit different from standard practice college experience.
So like during the basketball season, term 2 and term 3, I'm only in 2 classes.
Because you can schedule it
those
out.
8 weeks. So
that's smart.
2 classes a day.
Yeah.
Monday, you get Wednesdays off.
Very nice.
2 classes a day, 4 days a week. So
yeah,
school actually was cool. I liked how just they set it up. So
very good, good experience there.
Yeah.
That's cool to hear.
Yep.
Another person who was on the podcast, Mary Jansen's, was also an Upper Iowa graduate. So I was excited to kind of talk about that.
Yeah.
A little bit before your time.
Yeah. It probably hasn't changed. So.
No, she said some of the same things about the little community and enjoying her time there and all of that. Being a college basketball player and try to balance the school and the games thing, that with your workload was never tough?
I mean, it wasn't easy.
Okay.
But again, that's a lesson that it kind of teaches you, is just time management and having your priorities straight.
Yeah. Are there opportunities for help? Like, I don't know, some of the bigger schools have tutors and all that. Is that available?
Yep. It's still available up there. And we would have a study table, that we call it, as a basketball team. So, no, plenty of help. And the really cool thing about Upper Iowa is that you know your professors and that your professors know you.
Hell yeah.
Just because of the class size. And so they're very inviting for you to approach them whenever you need help. So
very good. Very cool.
A lot of good help up there too. Yeah.
Now awesome. Your experience it's Peacocks. They're the Peacocks.
The Peacocks. Correct? You bet.
And short term, a lot of people refer to them as Cocks. I'm sure that was pretty cool as a college dude.
Yeah.
So what was your playing experience like as a freshman? Did you see any playing time? What was your role in the team?
Yeah, I saw some playing time freshman year.
What position? You never answered
point
that.
guard. Okay. Sorry, point guard. Yep. So
you're handling the ball every time down the floor.
Trying to.
Come on.
Yeah, trying to handle it. I like to pass to my teammates, kind of try and set them up at least. But
you're pass first guy?
I was.
Yeah, that's what you'd say?
Yep.
That's very cool to hear.
I just enjoyed playing the game like that.
Hell yeah.
Wasn't worried about scoring. I wanted all of them to score. So
very cool.
Yeah.
John Stockton type? Is that a good? Or no?
Not that,
your favorite?
Not that good, that's for sure. But I liked his playing style too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. So what sort of challenging experiences did the realm of basketball afford you? Freshman year, you played a little bit. Mm-hmm. Did you continue to gain more playing time, or what would that look like?
Yeah, a little bit as the season went along. Part of that was due to an injury to a guy ahead of me, unfortunately. But then, a little more time each year, I would say. There can be a lot of challenges throughout the season. Just obviously, it's a very long season.
So, how many games are we playing in a collegiate season?
30.
Pretty tough on the body when you're trying to play that much.
Yeah, and how our conference rolls is that you play Friday, Saturday nights.
Oh, dang.
So you're back to back. Yeah.
That's tough.
That's tough, but you kind of get used to it after a little bit. But yeah, just even outside of basketball, you're missing pretty much all the breaks within the school year too. Thanksgiving break, Christmas break, spring break.
Yeah.
Like that is tough. That's a challenge. I mean, you don't really get to go home when everyone else is going home too, but it makes it worth it with the guys you're surrounded by for sure.
Heck yeah.
At least in my experience. So
yeah, that having to miss out on that stuff because you had practices.
Yep. And just the season kind of runs through all of the breaks during the school year, but
heck yeah,
that's okay.
Yeah. So any accolades or anything when we're talking about that? You played all 4 years.
Yeah. Junior year, I think I was first team all conference.
Hell yeah. So when you're getting to that point, mm-hmm. and you're making a name for yourself within the sport, are you looking long term? Is basketball at that point in your life, was basketball something you thought you wanted to do longer than just college?
Like playing wise?
I don't know. What was your thought process? Where were you at?
I always thought if I could
Europe
keep playing,
or Germany or NBA,
that'd be cool.
Thoughts, G League.
Obviously, the NBA and G League would be way out of question.
Your reach.
But I always thought about possibly trying to play in a different country, but just never went through with it. I don't know if I would have had the opportunity to, but just couldn't really commit myself to doing that. But otherwise, I was hoping to be involved with basketball somehow after school. That's definitely my passion. I love it a lot, so didn't really know how that was going to look. But luckily, so far, since removed from college, I've been fortunate enough to be involved with basketball still.
It's so far worked out pretty good for you.
Yeah, yep.
When you're in Iowa and thinking about the future in basketball, there has to be a little bit of limitation. We're not a giant power conference place. Mm-hmm. So how did you get past that sort of stuff, thinking, hey, maybe I could do it long term? You were looking at maybe coaching revenue or what?
Yeah. After I was done playing, my coach was fortunate enough to let me on, I was fortunate enough that my coach let me be a graduate assistant.
Oh, okay.
So I did that.
At Upper Iowa.
Yep, at Upper Iowa.
Yeah.
So got to do that for 2 years. Really good experience. Liked it a lot more than I kind of thought I would.
Did you have any problems being that you're 20-some years old? Some of those guys you probably played with, right?
Yep, exactly.
To differentiate those roles, was that tough? What'd that look like?
Not as tough as I expected.
Okay. Yeah.
Obviously, there were still some challenges there, but kind of the core group of guys that I hung out with was a year above me.
Okay.
So
they were all
my
gone.
senior year, yeah, they were all gone. And then my senior year playing, I still had a very good relationship with the guys on our team. They were just pretty young, like freshmen, sophomores. So, I mean, we really only had 1 year together, and I could kind of separate myself from that too. But, yeah, I mean, certainly a challenge no matter where you're at if you're coaching players that you just played with. So.
Absolutely.
But it worked out well. You got to set boundaries for sure.
Absolutely.
Stuff like that,
so what sort of things were you doing as a graduate?
Still in classes, unfortunately. I was getting my master's.
Still going to school. Okay.
Yeah, so got my master's in sports administration.
Okay.
So, yeah, GA kind of, you're in school still. It was online stuff, so that helped. Otherwise, you're doing individual workouts, small group workouts. You're helping with scouting reports, helping with practice plans, watching film.
Damn.
Doing the laundry.
Whatever they need.
Whatever they need, whatever the head coach and assistant coach don't want to do, you're filling in for. So.
Heck yeah. And your aspirations and goals after doing that, what'd that look like?
I did want to stay in the coaching realm of things, especially at the college level. Just I liked that level. I kind of liked everything it entailed. I just wasn't apt to move away.
Okay.
And kind of, if you want to be in the college basketball coaching business, I think you do have to be willing to branch out, move kind of
wherever you're needed.
Yeah, wherever you can find a job. So
what made you stay put here? What made you want to stay in Iowa?
Yeah, so after that, I stayed on staff with a different job on campus that allowed me to keep coaching basketball for 1 more year. And then I had to make some decisions because that obviously wasn't going to be sustainable for a family in the future, stuff like that. Then I was introduced to 𝙀𝙀𝙟𝙬, a basketball training facility coming to Cedar Rapids, where my now fiance lives and is from.
Cedar Rapids.
Okay. So honestly, it just kind of fell hand in hand like it was meant to be.
Hell yeah.
Because I couldn't
You
really
spent
stay.
your whole life around basketball.
Yeah. And so, I couldn't really stay in Fayette any longer. Just
right. Time
job-wise, time
right.
was up for sure. So I needed to do something. And again, I didn't really want to branch out and coach at a different school and move.
Yeah.
And this opened up literally when I was looking for a job.
Which is wild.
It worked out perfect.
So 𝙀𝙀𝙟𝙬.
Yeah.
In the most layman terms, because I can barely dribble a basketball with my right hand, dude. Explain what that is. 𝙀𝙀𝙟𝙬.
It's the most advanced training, most advanced basketball training facility in the world.
Okay.
According to the 𝙀𝙀𝙟𝙬 reps,
community.
In a sense. Yeah, and community.
All right. It's not only in Cedar Rapids.
Nope.
Where
first
else?
one in Iowa.
Okay.
I think we were number 31 to open up in the world.
Okay, so it's a worldwide corporation.
Yeah, 30 in the U.S., 1 in the Republic of Georgia.
Very cool.
The first one started out in the state of Washington, 2010, 2011, 2012, something like that. And then just have kind of slowly built new ones. There's a lot on the West Coast and South, kind of in the big cities, bigger states too. But I think they're really going to start to pop up kind of everywhere.
Yeah, the next, I think, closest one there was maybe one in Nebraska, Indiana. There was one in Indiana.
And then Fargo. Again, that's not too close.
13-hour car
ride.
And bus ride.
Naperville just opened one up within the last year.
Very cool.
So, yeah, again, not too terribly close to
So when did
Iowa.
this open in Cedar Rapids?
We opened February 17th.
Of
2023.
Okay.
Yep, so we've been open for 2 months.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this idea, when did you find out about it and how? Like it's a brand new concept when you found out about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
A friend of ours sent the job application to my fiance and I.
Yeah.
Because it was coming to Cedar Rapids and they knew I liked basketball and they were looking for
Perfect
the
fit.
position that I was hired for. And so another full circle moment, come to find out that the owner who was bringing this to Cedar Rapids went to high school with my college coach.
Wow.
Like 2 years apart. So again, my college coach knew I was looking for another job.
Yeah.
And he reached out to him and put in a good word for me. They have a good relationship. He had really good things to say about the owner. So yeah, it kind of worked out
perfect
that way too.
fit.
So yeah, perfect fit. Thankful for Brooks, my college coach, for what he did for me, and then reaching out to Jeremy, the owner of 𝙀𝙬𝙟𝙬, him and his wife Jen. Super people. Yeah, it couldn't be more perfect.
It's just a true testament to sometimes it's not about what you know, it's who you know.
Who you know.
And to how powerful it is to make those awesome connections and to have that network. Mm-hmm. So then when something opens up and you need a hand, you have people that are willing to look out for you.
For sure. Yeah, you hit it right on the nose there. Very fortunate that
it's wild.
It worked out like this.
And to set you up for something that, like, this is the perfect fit. Right?
I think so right now for sure. So I mean, I have no intentions of leaving 𝙀𝙬𝙟𝙬.
So what explain
for sure.
𝙀𝙬𝙟𝙬. So I come in there, I'm like, I want to get better at basketball.
Yeah.
Who comes in?
Absolutely.
High school kids?
Really, any age kids.
Okay.
This will be a long-winded answer.
That's perfectly fine.
Basketball training facility focusing on ball handling, passing, and shooting.
Okay.
Very technology, data, feedback driven.
Okay.
And age-wise, it can honestly be, I mean, the skills courts that we call them, where you're working on passing and dribbling, you can really do any age. Even a 5-year-old, our owner has a 5-year-old son, he does it. Shooting portion, you got to be able to get it up to a 10-foot hoop.
Yeah. Yep.
But what's really cool about it is the technology that 𝙀𝙬𝙟𝙬 has. It's their own patented technology.
Oh, that's a big piece, probably.
And the NBA and WNBA teams use our technology.
Shit. Big time.
So,
yeah,
like, we've got 5-year-olds that can use it, but the professional basketball players
also
are using the technology that we offer.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it's
cool.
It's
to have that access in Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Exactly.
Is amazing.
Exactly.
Hell
so,
yeah.
Like, I've seen pictures just on social media from different NBA accounts, and in the background, you see exactly what you see in our facility. And I just think that's
so people who watch NBA,
cool.
check it out. Maybe they'll get to spot it as well. You did say that the one in Georgia is owned by a professional.
Oh, yeah. The one in Republic of Georgia.
Yeah.
So way across the world is owned by 𝙍𝙠 𝙀𝙀𝙀.
And listeners will know if they watch the NBA.
Correct. NBA champion with the Warriors in the last
saw
5
the value
years or so
in this and brought it there.
Yeah. That's his home country. Obviously saw the value and started his own one there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So is every person on staff a basketball player? You have collegiate experience. Mm-hmm. What about everybody else?
At our facility, they have some basketball experience for sure. We have actually a professional, someone who just got done playing overseas.
Okay.
He's a coach for us. We have high school coaches, college coaches, a couple college players. They're all involved some way in basketball, which is cool.
Very cool.
So a good kind of mixture of levels, talent, all that good stuff.
Brings a lot to the table.
Yeah.
Now you say passing, shooting. What kind of technologies are we talking about that measure that kind of stuff?
Yeah, good question. So the skills portion, which is dribbling and passing, it's just it's 4 TV screens that's in front of you.
Okay.
So you've got a virtual trainer on the screen taking you through different ball handling drills, passing drills, stuff like that.
Okay.
So it's something you can pass the ball at the screen.
Okay.
And some of the things that you can do up there tracks like the accuracy of your pass, precision of your pass. So you're hitting like moving targets, stuff like that.
Wow. Okay. So it's kind of like a game.
It is where, very true. It's kind of where video games and basketball meet.
Wow.
So it's a lot of virtual stuff like that. But then the biggest piece in our facility is our shooting technology.
Okay. Elaborate.
Okay.
Hell yeah. Here's your time, Carson. Let it shine, baby.
It's called the splash meter.
Okay. So splash. I've heard that with the guys from Golden State, right? The Splash Brothers.
Splash Brothers,
okay.
Yeah. So that's probably something with that.
Dropping 3-point shots, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of.
So the splash meter is tracking the arc of your shot so how high you shoot it. The depth of your shot is kind of how long or short you shoot it. And then it tracks how straight you shoot it. They call it left and right, but it's just how straight you shoot it. So those three components of your shot are being tracked, and you get to see this on a screen above the backboard.
Oh, you like a trail of where your basketball went, per se? Or?
Kind of. So there's a green, a yellow, and a red zone.
Okay.
The green zone is called the splash zone. And the goal is to get all three of those components, metrics in the green.
Okay.
So it's kind of three dots connected in a line, and it's going to move after every shot that you shoot. So you get to see an instant feedback.
Adjustments and whatnot.
Instant feedback, adjustments, stuff like that. Every shot you shoot, it's going to move, and it's going to tell you you're going to have either a green, a yellow, or a red circle for your arc, a green, a yellow, a red circle for your depth, a green, a yellow, or a red circle for your how straight you shoot it.
Gotcha.
And the goal is to try and get all three in the green, because they say you've got a 90% chance of making those shots.
That's exactly what I was going to ask next.
Yeah.
If they're all green, does it mean you're making the shot? 90% of the time.
90% of the time. We have seen on rare occasions where it doesn't go in, but most of the time it's going in.
Wow. So that's just, hey, if you start, so what does that benefit? You're trying to make shot adjustments or?
Yeah. I mean, some people might tell an athlete you're shooting too high. A person the next day might tell them they're shooting too low, and then
coaches and giving feedback. You're saying
mixed messages,
right?
So by looking at this, it's something you just can't argue
from a data position,
because it's the science behind what a perfect shot looks like. Science from NASA and Carnegie Mellon. Carnegie Mellon and NASA, over like 100 million shots, they've said, to dial it down to what your ranges should be. So within the green, yellow, and red, you have numbers too. So there's ranges for the green and stuff like that. Yeah. So you get to see the number, you get to see the color. So it's just to tell us what's working with our shot or what's something we might have to tweak. And then the coaches in our facility, it's our role. Let's say their arc is too high. Now we got to figure out why their arc's too high. Maybe it's mechanics, maybe it's release point, stuff like that. So that's where we kind of play a role of trying to fix the actual shooting motion in a sense. And then hopefully that correlates to better numbers, being in the green
and
stuff
fixing
like that.
Their problems or whatever.
Yep. So it's just, it's an instant feedback tool to hopefully speed up the process to become a better shooter.
Shit.
So you can see visually
NASA
what we
technology.
Need to do. It's
which
wild.
Is wild.
I'm telling you.
Wild.
Yeah. That's
so
cool.
We had mentioned a little bit about a video game aspect of it when you're like passing. What it's like VR. The TVs you're seeing people. Explain that a little.
Yeah. So there's a couple different things you can do. One of the sections we have a training section where you have a trainer on the screen.
All right.
Taking you through the dribbling drill, taking you through the shooting drill, like showing you what move you're doing, what shot you're shooting. Same thing with the dribbling, what type of dribbling move you're doing. So that's kind of one component is the training section, trainer on the screen showing you what you're doing. Yeah. And we've got levels 1 through 8, 1 being very beginner, 8 being very advanced.
Oh, yeah.
So there's different ways to
progress,
challenge yourself, try new things.
Very cool.
And then the other component is our compete section, which is different passing, dribbling, shooting games, and competitions.
Okay.
So yeah, just like there's probably 10 to 12 different passing and dribbling games you can play, 10 to 12 different shooting games you can play. Very cool. While getting all the feedback as well.
Hell yeah. Do coaches ever challenge students like, hey, let's see if you can hit the shot?
Yep, for sure. Yeah, it's fun. But the coolest like challenge or competition that we have in the building, it's called the daily shoot-off.
Okay.
It's a 4-quarter game, 2 minutes a quarter. You're just trying to make as many points as you can, and you're competing against other people in your facility and Shoot 360 facilities across the world.
Dang.
So you get to see your name and what facility you're at, and then you get to see the name.
That's kind of cool.
Names and where they're from and who you're competing against.
Yeah, so, try to beat them.
Yeah, it creates as close to a game as you can.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, our athletes love that one just because you're competing from people from Texas, California, Colorado,
everywhere.
all that good stuff. So
maybe even Georgia.
Yeah, maybe. Haven't seen that one yet, but I want to.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And to be able to bring this to Cedar Rapids is just amazing. What's the turnout been? You guys are new.
Yep.
Can you get in and do this? What's it like?
Yeah. Turnout's been pretty good so far.
You have a lot of high school athletes coming, college athletes? Or
right now.
And of course it's brand new, so all these things are.
Probably like 3rd graders through 8th grade is definitely our biggest population of athletes.
So when we're talking about that age of kid, those kids are playing AAU and school age basketball, rec leagues?
Yeah, like some of them are. And then some of them are playing baseball, softball, soccer, football, all the other stuff too. They're involved in a lot, which is good. But yeah, so 3rd through 8th grade is definitely our biggest market. We probably have 15 to 20 high schoolers so far.
Yeah.
Our oldest member was actually, I think, 30.
Sweet.
Just wanted to, he said this is much better than running on the treadmill.
Hell yeah.
So
being active,
he
right?
He could get his basketball fix and a very good workout
and be a better shooter at the end of the game, right? If you're trying.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So long-term plans, you're general managing this place right now? Mm-hmm. What's that look like for you every day?
I mean, this first 2 months have been kind of hectic, just getting off the ground running.
Yeah.
Everyone's first time in the facility is a free workout, we call it.
Okay.
Just to show them exactly what we do and how our stuff works.
So I'm sure you guys have been busy.
So it's an hour long, and we've probably gone through 400 plus of those in 2 months.
Yeah.
So
that's a lot.
Yeah, so that's been the biggest kind of piece so far.
Spreading the word, getting people to know.
Getting the word out there, bringing people in to check it out, putting them through that free workout.
Hell yeah.
And then going from there. So that's kind of what my biggest role has been so far.
Yeah.
Is just making sure that's all set up and bringing people in and putting them through. So, it's been good though so far.
Hell yeah. Are you pretty decent on these games? Be honest, Carson, because I'll ask the people working there.
I like to play them, that's for sure. It keeps it fun. It's fun to play with or against the athletes that are in there too. So the kids like it too.
Dude, I think it's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, we're running out of time, and you know, because you've watched The World with Nate, that you can't get out of here without firing range.
That's all right.
And I got it ready for you.
That's all right.
Dude. This episode of The Firing Range is sponsored by CoolFit. Nick Cool's a holistic health coach. I'm currently enrolled in Nick's 12-week course, and it's freaking changing my life. I thought I was here, and it's bringing me to here. Message Nick Cool today if you really want to change your life. Nick, I appreciate everything you've done for me, dude. Without further ado, Carson, you ready to rock?
Yep.
Breakfast or a supper kind of guy?
Supper.
Pass or shoot first?
Pass.
Layup or long range?
Long range.
College or professional?
Professional.
City or country guy?
Country.
Are you a grit kind of person, or is luck have a fate?
Grit.
Fruits or vegetables, what you taking?
Fruits.
Would you rather have a mountain home or a beachfront place?
Beachfront.
Radio or podcast?
Podcast.
Past, and your last one for today, past, present, or future? What are you taking to bet the farm on?
Oh, present. Live in the present.
I love that.
Yep.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to come from Cedar Rapids, chatting with me, and telling us everything about this new Shoot 360 basketball. I think it's awesome what you guys are doing.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. Thank you for just kind of getting the word out there, too, about it.
Absolutely.
Hopefully we see some viewers down there.
Hell yeah, and I will be in
Absolutely.
to shoot with Noah.
We'll put you through a workout.
Oh, yeah. We are not promising anything for that workout.
No,
Thanks, Carson.
Cool.
I appreciate it, dude.